This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, a man is charged with attempted murder after a stabbing at the Halifax Infirmary Emergency Department.
Hospital security calls for more safety measures after Wednesday's assault on multiple staff members.
And limited options. Women fleeing abuse struggle to find safe housing.
Gusty northwest winds easing but remaining in place for Friday with some light snow pushing in and even a mix to rain. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. We have more tonight about that terrifying stabbing yesterday at Nova Scotia's largest hospital, including warnings about security at healthcare facilities in the province.
But first, the man accused of attacking multiple staff members at the Halifax Infirmary ER has been charged with attempted murder. Nicholas Robert Colombe remains in custody until his next court appearance. Blair Rhodes reports.
This is Nicholas Colombe, last year around this time. He was living in a tent on the Grand Parade, and he and the others in this homeless encampment had just gotten an eviction notice, and he was trying to figure out where he would go next. While we don't have details yet about where he spent the intervening months, police allege that yesterday he was here in the emergency room of the QE2 Health Sciences Centre. He's accused of stabbing two people and injuring one other by throwing things at them. One of the stabbing victims was in critical condition. Police arrived at the hospital just after 1 Wednesday in response to a weapons call. They took a man into custody. The ER was shut down for several hours to all but urgent cases. Police have laid a total of 9 charges against Colombe, including attempted murder, assault with a weapon, and aggravated assault. In addition to those charges, the Provincial Labour Department is also investigating the incident. Colombe spent much of today in a cell in the basement of the courthouse on Spring Garden Road. He did not appear in front of a judge and let a lawyer do his talking for him. He returns to court next Tuesday for a bail hearing. Blair Rhodes, CBC News, Halifax.
And the Health Authority has confirmed that police responded to another incident at the Halifax Infirmary this afternoon. Police were called for what they say was an agitated male. The authority says the matter was resolved and the scene was cleared a short time later.
Wednesday's stabbing incident is raising alarm bells about safety and security in hospitals. The unions representing some healthcare employees in Nova Scotia are calling for change. As Selena Alders reports, they say violence in the workplace is all too common.
3 employees at the QE2 Emergency Department were injured in a stabbing incident on Wednesday afternoon. One person was in critical care but is now in stable condition.
And I'd like to say that it was unexpected, but it's not unexpected.
The Nova Scotia Nurses Union says protecting hospital staff from violence by patients has been a concern for many years, and things are only getting worse.
So if they go to emergency department and told they have to wait for 3, 4, however many hours they have to wait, 8 even, they get very upset often and believe that it's appropriate to take their frustration out on the people working in the system.
2 of the staff members injured in the incident are represented by the NSGEU.
You can't go into our courthouses throughout the province without going through a screening process. Even a sporting event, you have to be screened that you're not bringing in a weapon.
Nova Scotia Health says security is a top priority, and they're looking into acquiring portable metal detectors for larger urban hospitals.
We all want to see staff, patients, families be and feel safe to be at facilities at Nova Scotia Health.
Oldfield added they are not ruling out implementing police presence at hospitals across the province.
Something that we will have to look at very seriously, and, it will take that under real consideration.
The budget for security at Nova Scotia hospitals is $20 million this year, up from $12 million last year. Several internal investigations on Wednesday's stabbings are underway. Selena Alders, CBC News, Halifax.
Nova Scotia's finance minister is hinting the provincial government will have programs in place to help businesses that will be hurt by tariffs. U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he will impose a 25% duty on all goods coming into his country from Canada, and that could happen as soon as this weekend.
In a sense, it's really too early to say. We really don't know what the tariffs will be. We know they will have an impact on Nova Scotia. And as we see those, if in fact the tariffs emerge and start to have impact on Nova Scotia, then we'll look at both obviously what the federal government does and what we need to do that is unique to Nova Scotia. So everything's on the table at the moment.
Lohr says the provincial government has spoken to more than 100 businesses or groups that represent sectors that could be affected by the tariffs.
Meanwhile, Claudia Chender, the leader of the official opposition, says other premiers have been much more upfront about their tariff response plans. She says time is running out.
Look, we have 2 days before our economy stands to be impacted in a seismic way, and we've heard almost nothing from this government. The Premier didn't bother to show up today. Across the country, premiers are speaking to media, are laying out their plans, and most importantly, are gathering stakeholders to help inform their response, and we have seen none of that here.
Chender says Nova Scotia businesses deserve to know what the province intends to do to cushion the blow of the tariffs. Ryan Snoddon with us now with a quick look at the weather forecast.
And a chilly night out there.
Yeah, that's right. It was a cold Thursday, and it's going to be a cold start to Friday. Have a look at the high temperatures across the province on Thursday, anywhere from -7 to -14 and 15. It really didn't warm up a whole lot along that Northumberland shore in most of the province, in fact. And as we look at the forecast as we move forward, it's going to be a very chilly start to Friday, as I said, but temperatures will warm up in a hurry as the winds do shift from northwest back to southwest. Some light snowfall moving in, a trace to a couple of centimeters in most cases, as much as 5 locally, and that'll be enough to make things a little slick for that afternoon drive. Into the afternoon and evening, we'll likely see some rain mixing in along the south shore and even into the Halifax area before we go back to some snow for overnight and into the early morning hours of Saturday before this all clears. And then we are really going to clear and cool down yet again for Saturday. As I said, 2 to 5 centimeters possible for that before that commute home, and then another couple of centimeters overnight, as much as 5 locally, and then it's all gone by Saturday, and we're looking at those clearing skies for the weekend, but boy, it is going to be a chilly one. All the full forecast details coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, get ready to bundle up. Good. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Nova Scotia Liberal MP Jaime Batiste says he will be dropping out of the Liberal Party leadership race in favour of backing former central banker Mark Carney. Carney will be visiting Halifax tomorrow. In other news, housing remains the biggest issue for women fleeing domestic violence, according to frontline organizations. Many shelters and supportive housing are full, leaving some women facing homelessness or going back to their abusers. Nicola Seguin reports.
For a woman to successfully get out of a dangerous relationship, she needs somewhere safe to live. But for some, that's hard to find.
The biggest issue right now is definitely housing.
Jody McDavid runs a transition house in Cape Breton that is consistently full, sometimes with a wait list. They're renovating this housing for women to live in when they move on from the shelter.
We unfortunately have some people who might return to the person that was causing harm to them, and a lot of that is because of just the lack of housing.
Nova Scotia is in the midst of a spike in intimate partner violence that has left 6 women dead in 3 months and been declared an epidemic. But still, the number of women needing help is growing. This organization that helps women move and stores their belongings says it's taking them longer to find permanent, safe housing.
They are storing for longer and longer, some in cases over a year or more.
Tupi says shelter movers checks back in with their clients every 3 months, and sometimes it's bad news.
And some of our clients that we have served, when we do check in, they say that they are homeless, that they are on the street, and they're just waiting to find safe housing or somewhere safe to live.
This researcher says shelters in Nova Scotia and across the country just don't have enough beds. And when people can't move on, it creates a backlog.
Because even though they might be very diligently looking for more permanent long-term housing options and staff are helping them look for more long-term permanent housing options, they're just not there.
The provincial government declined an interview request and sent a statement instead, saying it permanently bumped up the funding for transition houses by around $7 million in this year's budget. It also added a rent supplement for people fleeing family violence that 139 households are currently receiving. Nicola Sagan, CBC News, Halifax.
A government investigation has found that the information of 35,000 current and former students and close to 7,000 current and former employees, parents, and guardians of Cape Breton Victoria Regional Centre for Education was stolen as part of the Power School data breach. Earlier this month, the company was hit by a countrywide breach where people's personal information was stolen. Some of the information included names, addresses, user IDs, and encrypted passwords. The breach did not include any financial information, but the province says credit monitoring will be offered to those whose social insurance numbers were stolen. Individual notifications to those impacted by the data breach will begin in the coming weeks.
More and more university students in the Maritimes are reporting disabilities, and more than half of them are asking for accommodation at school to help cope with mental health issues. The CBC's Taylor O'Brien reports.
The number of university students reporting a disability has grown across the country, but it's even higher at maritime universities, and it's coming as no surprise to PEI school staff.
We certainly, in my conversations with my counterparts at other post-secondaries, it's been a trend that we've seen, and other, I would say, mental health professionals and educators would be seeing the needs rising across their provinces.
Academic accommodations can include a variety of supports, like private testing spaces, note takers, and text-to-speech technology. According to the Canadian University Survey Consortium, 29% of maritime university students reported a disability in 2019. That number has grown to 37% in 2022. But in non-maritime universities, only 24% of students reported having a disability in 2019, and it rose to 30% within 3 years. University officials say there are a number of reasons for this surge, but a big one is the COVID-19 pandemic.
Students may have had interrupted learning, and even more so, there may have been some interruption in their social development in those years because it was difficult to socialize. Friend groups were broken up, and they were coming back to school and trying to start all over again, and it was very challenging for many students.
Mental health issues, particularly anxiety and depression, make up more than half of all reported disabilities. The manager of accessibility services at UPEI says the stigma around asking for help has been reduced, and it's now easier for students to request accommodations.
It alleviates some of that stress students might experience about, I'm going to be the only one in the class that needs these accommodations, and when they realize there are several others in the class who need these supports to succeed as well, it's a little bit of a relief to them.
Griffin encourages any students who are struggling to reach out to someone on campus. She says there are supports available that can help, and everyone's goal is to see students succeed. Taylor O'Brien, CBC News, Charlottetown.
The Halifax business that launched 2 years ago to give people with Down syndrome opportunities and work experience is thriving.
It's called Planet 21, and on Wednesday they hosted a pop-up style event. Take a look.
I am the founder of Planet 21. Planet 21 is actually, 21 comes, the 21 represents people with Down syndrome because it's trisomy 21. And the planet itself is like a home. Planet 21 is a event and an entertainment business with Down syndrome at the core of its business. Yeah, it started with the Down Syndrome Society, which they helped me promoted my skills to become an entrepreneur as I am today. The business plan is to help hire people with Down syndrome and pay them some of the proceeds that are sold or by donations as well. We're not here to segregate, we're here to integrate.
You think it's cold out there?
Yeah, there's some evidence, isn't it?
Then, of course, the Dartmouth smokestacks on this evening. Ryan's going to be up next with the full weather forecast and all the details. We'll see you right back here in just a few minutes.
Well, we saw the stacks there at Tufts Cove before the break. Certainly chilly, no doubt about it, and going to be messy a little bit too.
Yes, so this roller coaster pattern, we seem to be locked in.
Yeah, there's no really signs of this easing at all. And so we go cold and clear and milder and unsettled. And that's kind of the pattern we'll repeat here over the next 7 days, as you'll see right now. Calm and not calm, but quiet and clear. Certainly the wind has been a factor today, so we won't say calm. You can see temperatures out there at this hour, -7 to -8 through the Tri-County area, anywhere from -10 to -17 across the mainland. Anna Ganesh, that Collegeville station, that's one of our cooler spots at Truro. Tour up into the Colchester County area, also at -16, and Cape Breton into the minus double digits and teens. And as you can see, those winds they have been a factor all day. Sustained 20, 30 kilometers per hour, gusting is sustained at 40 to 50 here in through the Tri-County area, and also at Grand Detang, where we're gusting to 67 at last check, gusting 50 to 60 here in through the Tri-County area as well. So wind chill values, yeah, we're feeling minus 20s, closer to minus 30 up in the Pictou County area, and you can see it's feeling closer to minus 20 pretty much everywhere else. The onshore flurries have been continuing today for Inverness County, and a couple of isolated flurries here through central areas. Still a risk of a flurry over the next couple of hours, and then area of high pressure keeping us quiet overnight. Next system quickly builds in. In fact, this system is actually going to be moving to the south. There's a little trough rolling through the Great Lakes, holding hands with this system. That's what will really be bringing us the precipitation for your Friday. Now, look at the jet stream. You can see dividing Canada between the cold air and the warm air right now. Very cold off to the north. As we zoom back in, let's have a look at our temperatures for tonight. We'll be generally minus 12 to 16, likely bottoming out in Yarmouth at minus 10 in the Tri-County area before a bump up in those temperatures before morning. The onshore flurries there in through Inverness continue this evening. Another 2 to 5 centimeters possible, maybe even a little bit more over the highlands. And then you can see into tomorrow morning, we're looking at those temperatures bumping up towards minus 4 and through the Tri-County area, increasing clouds throughout the morning elsewhere. And again, we'll see some bands of snow that will kind of grease the roads up, perhaps enough to bring a coating for some areas, some spots on the roads, because we are likely to accumulate about 2 centimeters from this, perhaps as much as 5 locally. And then you can see we are looking at some rain pushing its way up into the Atlantic coastline. So hard to believe how cold it is right now. 24 hours from now, we're going to be looking at some wet weather and plus side temperatures moving in to the south and west. So a real bump in those temps. Have a look at highs tomorrow across Cape Breton. Those temps will continue to rise into the evening, but your highs tomorrow ranging between about minus 1 and minus 6. The mainland back into central areas will get 0 to 3 by the end of the afternoon, and 1 to 3 here in through the southwest. Those southwest winds tomorrow will gust to 60 kilometers per hour, so it will be breezy just from the other direction. So snowfall outlook, this is tomorrow. Then the wet weather mixes in, then back to some snow, and yeah, so we're looking at maybe 5 centimeters is about as much as we'll get. That is adding in this snow on the tail end of this system. American model's still a little more bullish on this, but everything else is showing that this will be on the lighter variety for Friday night into Saturday morning. And you can see some lingering flurries for Saturday. The northwest winds will be breezy again on Saturday. And so feeling into the minus double digits and teens here when we factor in the winds on Saturday as those flurries clear away. Now Sunday, we've got lighter winds on tap, high pressure moving in. That's going to keep us quiet, which is going to be nice. And then we've got our next system that moves in, and that one is again looking like snow mixing to rain. Temperatures on the plus side by Monday, late day, but enough that we could again see the roads getting snowy and greasy for the Monday morning commute, lingering into the afternoon before that changeover. Temperatures looking set to fall pretty quickly through Tuesday. Cold for Wednesday again, and then a snow, ice, rain system maybe for Thursday. So, yeah, it's active.
We're all over the place.
Buckle up.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll meet a resident of the new supportive shelter village who says her move has been life-changing. As people who were unhoused or sleeping rough move into new pallet shelter villages around Nova Scotia, some now have a moment in the warmth and comfort of their new homes to put their experiences of homelessness behind them.
For Mariah Baker, she says she's feeling a renewed sense of hope, privacy, and determination, having recently moved into a pallet shelter home in Burnside. Baker shares her experience of survival with CBC News.
Hi, my name is Mariah Baker. I'm 31 and I've been homeless on and off for about 3 or 4 years now. So how I ended up homeless is kind of hard to pinpoint really. My first stint was when I went through a breakup. I had nowhere to go and I ended up in a tent. I would say that things like drug addiction and like just mental health probably plays a big factor in it. Kind of things like to do with like uphill challenges like trying to find housing and work trans. A few ways that the trans experience kind of affects my homelessness experience. It makes it a little bit more difficult, like as I may have said before, to find work. It also makes it harder to find housing because when I do go to these like viewings and stuff like that and talk to the landlords and stuff, sometimes you can kind of notice their face change. But like I also don't want to look at it as that's like the only thing making me not get these places either. So I kind of look past it. At the very first, it didn't really like strike me like as being completely homeless. Like I kept feeling like I was going to find somewheres to go into, a friend or to stay with. I just kind of looked at it as like a camping trip. But then reality kind of started to sink in as the weather got colder. October started to hit, frost stuff, having to wake up and use the bathroom in a bucket type stuff. Kind of started to come to the realization of how not nice it was. Like it didn't feel like that it was what was going on. As like kind of like the stages of grief. I was kind of in the denial point. Like you're not getting proper sleep. So like you're not really thinking that straight about it all. Everything's wet. Like even if it doesn't rain, yeah, you can wake up kind of being quite soaked. Couple that with the cold weather that we have, you can end up with hypothermia or sick pretty quick. I get emotional over it because like I just care. You know what I mean? Like I don't like to see anybody go through this. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so when I found out that I was getting into here and not ending up in a tent again, it was just joy. Yeah, again, it almost felt surreal. It almost felt like something, like with everything that had been going on, I just kept feeling in the back of my mind, something's going to go wrong, something's going to screw it up. And just finally ending up here, it feels awesome. The best thing about being here versus like being in a tent or like say shelter or anything like that, you do have your privacy. You have more of a sense of dignity. Where I panhandle, I've been giving out resumes.
Oh yeah.
So like those are things that like you don't really feel like you can't really do that in a tent. You don't really feel very optimistic that things are going to look up when you're in an encampment, to be honest. You just kind of get by day. I've been using a lot less since I've been here, so I am trying to completely stop again. That is my end goal. A lot of people look at encampments like there's something like inherently like wrong with the people that are in them, but like they're humans too, and a lot of people I don't think realize how close they can be to being in that situation if they didn't have the social security nets of friends and family that are willing to prop them up when they fall down. This is incredibly life-changing for me because, like I said before, I now feel like I can try to go back to work again and turn my life around. Like, the huge life change kind of helps with, like, breaking habits and cycles. Yeah, there's not really much more to say that it's pretty nice.
Coming up, U.S. officials say there are no survivors after a crash involving a commercial jet and a military helicopter in Washington last night.
And officials in the Ukrainian city of Kherson say dozens of civilians have been killed after being hunted by Russian drones. Welcome back. U.S. officials are investigating a deadly mid-air collision between a passenger jet and a military helicopter near Washington on Wednesday.
There are no survivors among the 64 people on board the American Airlines flight or the 3 soldiers in the chopper. Caroline Bargut has the details.
This is the audio of air traffic controllers trying to warn a Black Hawk helicopter moments before it crashed into American Airlines Flight 5342. 60 passengers and 4 crew were on board the plane on its way to Washington from Wichita, Kansas. On the Black Hawk, 3 U.S. soldiers were on a night training exercise. 300 emergency responders rushed to the scene in a desperate search for survivors in the icy Potomac River.
Despite all those efforts, we are now at a point where we are switching from a rescue operation to a recovery operation.
The National Transportation Safety Board has taken the lead on the investigation.
We do not know enough facts to be able to rule in or out human factor, mechanical factors.
Among the 67 dead, 14 were American skaters on their way back from a national development camp in Wichita, Kansas. 6 of them connected to the Boston Skating Club, including 16-year-old skater Spencer Lane and his mother Molly, 16-year-old skater Gina Ha and her mother Jin, and their coaches, former world champions Evgenia Yishkova and her husband Vadim Nomov, who won the world championship in pairs figure skating in 1994, and their 23-year-old son Maxime.
It's a close, tight bond, and I think for all of us, we have lost family.
The crash happened on the Transportation Secretary's first day. Sean Duffy promises officials will get to the bottom of it.
Everyone who flies in American skies expects that we fly safely, that when you depart an airport, you get to your destination. That didn't happen last night.
Without evidence, U.S. President Donald Trump blamed the crash on diversity, equity, and inclusion policies that may have factored into the hiring of air traffic controllers.
My administration will set the highest possible bar for aviation safety. We have to have our smartest people. It doesn't matter what they look like, how they speak, who they are. It matters intellect, talent.
A team of investigators from Canada are also on site to help out. The Trump administration says it won't rest until it has answers. Caroline Bargout, CBC News, Washington.
Turning now to the latest in the Middle East. Israel and Hamas have carried out the latest round of exchanges as part of the ceasefire deal. Israel released 110 Palestinian prisoners, and the militants returned 8 more hostages, including 3 Israelis and 5 Thai nationals. As some of the captives were being escorted out of Gaza, a crowd swarmed around the vans they were in. The chaotic scene led Israel authorities to briefly delay releasing the Palestinian prisoners. In this first phase of the ceasefire and hostage release deal, 33 hostages are supposed to be freed overall. Israel believes 8 of them are dead. Israel is expected to release around 2,000 Palestinian prisoners in return.
Throughout the Ukraine war, Russian forces have struck civilian areas and buildings. Now they're being accused of a different tactic, targeting civilians themselves. The CBC's Briar Stewart spoke to some of the apparent victims and has this report from southern Ukraine.
Lubov Timofeeva can't shake the fear that she's been living with for months as she hid in her home during Russian attacks. It's horrible there. It's hell, she said. Everything is destroyed. Russia once occupied the city of Kherson and the surrounding area. Now it's bombarding it from across the Dnipro River. Part of Russia's arsenal, drones equipped with explosives, which local officials say have been targeting and terrorizing residents. Nearly 70 have been killed in what some have dubbed a human safari. Dmytro, who only wanted to be identified by his first name for security reasons, was injured in a drone attack after filling up his car at a gas station. Shrapnel pierced his temple and shoulder.
Could you hear the drum?
Of course, he said. Everything happened so fast. Videos of many attacks have been published by pro-Russian social media accounts and are often edited with music. Many show vehicles being targeted, along with people on bicycles. In this video, a man tries to use a wall as cover and desperately makes the sign of the cross before the drone appears to fly away.
What we are talking about is an abusive campaign, a campaign that is targeting civilians.
Belkisvila is with Human Rights Watch. She's interviewed dozens of residents living in what pro-Russian social media have labeled a so-called red zone.
That is illegal under international law. You can't just, decide that an entire segment of a city with civilians in it is an area in which you can target anything that moves.
The Russian accounts claim that the military isn't targeting civilians, but Ukrainian soldiers who they accuse of trying to blend in with the residents. It's a lie, says Dmytro. They fire when there's no military. Kherson residents believe part of Russia's plan is to drive people out of the area. If so, it appears to be working, as officials say they're seeing more people flee to evacuation centers. Briar Stewart, CBC News in the Kherson region.
Back in Canada, Quebec RCMP have unveiled an expensive new tool to help beef up security at the Canada-U.S. border. It's part of the $1.3 billion federal package in response to the Trump administration's calls to crack down on illegal drugs and crossings. The CBC's Sarah Levitt has the details.
We're at this Quebec border town. It's about 5 kilometers from New York, all part of what the RCMP says it's bolstering of border security. Its latest tool, a Black Hawk helicopter, given what has happened in Washington, D.C. The RCMP not going into too much detail about it, but saying they would not use this helicopter if they weren't 100% sure about its security. Now, unveiling these helicopters are part of showing that they take border security seriously. Now, the helicopter that we saw is the one that will be deployed here in Quebec. There's another one that will be deployed in Alberta. 2 Black Hawk helicopters, that's added to already 6 different helicopters that are used as part of border surveillance. Particularly important here in this sector in Quebec, it's called the Swanton sector. It runs from Cornwall, Ontario to Sherbrooke, Quebec. It's about 50 kilometers in length. And just to give you an idea, there has been an increase in people illegally going from Canada to the U.S. So in 2023 saw almost 7,000, and then 2024 almost 20,000. So there is a concern there. And the other particular concern has to do with drugs.
Less than 1% of the fentanyl today in the United States comes from Canada. In the last 12 months, for Quebec only, there hasn't been a single occurrence of that we have detected of fentanyl going to the American market.
The federal government announced a $1.3 billion package, includes these 2 Black Hawk helicopters, but also more personnel on the ground, more canine drug teams, drones and surveillance towers, all of that in an attempt to secure the border both from illegal crossings as well as the drug trade. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Franklin, Quebec.
The date of Donald Trump's threatened tariffs is just about here, and today he does not appear to be walking back on that. The U.S. president once again says he plans to hit Canada with a 25% tariff. Ashley Burke looks at what officials here are doing to avoid a trade war.
It's a show of force for an audience of one. Canada trying to convince Donald Trump the border's secure, this time with new Black Hawk helicopters and talks about arrests.
The RCMP has successfully charged a few human smugglers, and as we speak, there are more files being reviewed by the prosecutor.
Tariffs on Canada and Mexico, 25%. That's coming on Saturday? That's coming on the 1st, Saturday.
The U.S. president once again today threatening 25% tariffs on Mexico and Canada.
Because we have very big deficits with those countries, those tariffs may or may not rise with time.
He also reiterated that it's because of human smuggling and fentanyl he says is entering the U.S. from both countries.
Not only we have a strong border, but the $1 billion investment we've done on behalf of Canadians to secure our border is a testament to the fact that we want to engage in a respectful way with our American friends.
With the clock ticking, ministers are in D.C. trying to stop the tariffs, and contingency plans are underway back home in case they can't.
The government of Canada is prepared. The government of Canada will retaliate. The government of Canada will protect workers.
Some mayors at border towns calling on Canadians to help too by boycotting American goods.
Start sending a signal to our U.S. neighbors that, we have purchasing power as well.
Let's put in place supports before the worst happens.
The leader of the NDP doubling down, calling on the Prime Minister to recall Parliament to pass legislation to protect workers and businesses if Trump goes ahead.
If the Liberals think that they can wait 2 months before they bring in legislation, they are wrong. That would allow workers to suffer for 2 months.
Government sources say there's no plan to recall Parliament early, but that Ottawa is working on a multi-billion-dollar relief package. The Prime Minister is expected to meet with the Canada-U.S. Council tomorrow to prepare for whatever Trump does next. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
And just this hour, Donald Trump says he'll make a decision later tonight on whether Canadian oil will be a target of U.S. tariffs.
Meanwhile, Canadian farmers are among those bracing for those steep U.S. tariffs. As the CBC's Cameron McIntosh shows us, in an industry that relies heavily on U.S. exports, many farmers are feeling hogtied.
Manitoba is one of Canada's biggest hog producers. Millions are shipped and processed in the United States.
We sell actually all our pigs into the U.S. market.
John Nichols sends a truck each week. So yeah, tariffs make him nervous.
We obviously don't want it. Nobody really wants this or needs it.
Pigs don't just stop growing, so it's either sell or slaughter them. Like poultry and beef, Canada is just too small to consume all the meat it produces.
We would have to cut back our production or, worst case scenario, shut down the farm.
Similar worries for Colin Penner. He grows grains bound for the U.S. Usually this time of year, he's focusing on his equipment. Right now, it's Donald Trump.
Even as Trump was elected in November, we said we better get our fertilizer home because something might go silly. We've locked in interest rates for the next 4 years.
Agriculture and agri-food account for 7% of Canada's GDP. 1 in 9 jobs, about 2.3 million people. 60% of our agriculture exports go to the U.S. This economist wonders how much tolerance Americans may have for rising prices.
Those prices are going to go up. Now, the big question is, how is that going to impact on the shelves in U.S. groceries?
Even without retaliatory tariffs, food prices could rise here for Canadian goods that are processed in the U.S. before being brought back to be sold here. Penner is looking for a silver lining.
There's always something to benefit in chaos, but I'm nervous. I'm definitely very nervous.
With billions of dollars at stake, there's a stark reality in agriculture. Canada, which relies heavily on exports, especially to the United States, would struggle to simply eat its way out of a trade problem. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, near Winnipeg.
Well, being out in a snowstorm can sometimes leave you with ice in your hair, but if you hear the term hair ice, well, that's something different.
Yes, it's also sometimes called angel hair, a tiny and enchanting formation of ice occurring in a very special way. The CBC's Darius Madavi takes a close-up look.
Have you ever been wandering in the woods and come across something that seemed to defy explanation? That's how I felt the first time I came across hair ice. It's a pretty rare phenomenon. It can only happen when the temperature and humidity and environment are just right. Plus, there's a secret ingredient that might surprise you. The quest to solve the mystery of hair ice, also called angel hair, spans almost a century. And it all starts with one of the most famous scientists you've probably never heard of. Alfred Wegener is best known for his theory of continental drift. In 1918, he became one of the first to describe a strange ice formation on some dead, rotting logs. And he noticed that the wood where this ice formed also hosted some delicate, cottony fibers, a fungus. Looking back, this may not seem like a mystery that should have taken a century to solve. But consider how difficult this ice is to study. It is only reliably found between 45 and 55 degrees latitude. It typically forms on humid winter nights, since the temperature has to be just below freezing and there needs to be some moisture in the air. And it can only form on dead wood, but not bark, where the E. effusa fungus lives, as the initial layer of ice draws water out of pores in that rotting wood. The fact that it can form at all is a scientific wonder. Normally, you would expect the ice crystals to restructure themselves into a more stable shape, especially at temperatures close to zero. So researchers think the fungus plays a key role, both shaping the ice and providing some kind of antifreeze, which prevents recrystallization. So next time you're out exploring and you spot something cool, take a minute and have a closer look. Who knows? You might just kick off the next century-long mystery. Darius Mandavi, CBC News, Vancouver.
Canada's main stock index rose more than 1% today in a broad-based rally with strong gains in technology and base metal stocks, while in the U.S., the markets there saw a more muted rise. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break.
I'm Portia Clark.
And I'm Matt Brand.
Join us for news, traffic, sports, weather, and compelling stories to get your day started.
That's on Information Morning for mainland Nova Scotia, weekdays on CBC Radio.
All right, we're on the weather elevator. Up and down we go.
The car scraper's been getting a workout.
The car scraper is definitely been getting a workout, and the car itself, just to turn it on in the morning.
I kind of feel the same way.
True. When I get to work.
Yes, absolutely. We're all a little slow getting going in the mornings. Have a look at our viewer picture of the day, and this one, Barry Burgess, a frequent contributor. I haven't had one from Barry in a while, and this one was worth the wait. 5 Islands, beautiful spot.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Looks like a potted plant, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Yeah. Remarkable what Mother Nature will do, right? Like for those trees to be holding on there.
I know.
And that, you know how much wind funnels through there. Barry, thank you so much for sharing this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. 5 islands and all across the province tonight. It is going to be very chilly to start Friday morning. Now, the Tri-County area you can see will likely bump up before morning as the winds become southwest just before morning there. And the rest of us will see those temps rising pretty quickly throughout the morning as we see some light snow passing through, coating to a couple centimeters looking most likely there. And then enough to make the roads greasy though. And then here comes the rain mixing in along that Atlantic coastline. Then we go back to snow for Friday night and into the early Saturday morning time frame. And then that low will start to work its way out and we'll see the skies clearing into Saturday. Now, this is the latest Canadian model run. You can see it's a little bit higher up towards the south and west, showing a little more substantial 5 to 10 centimeter amounts there. This is the Friday shot, plus the overnight Friday into Saturday morning round of snow after we go back to snow. So just a heads up on that. And then let's quickly get to that 7-day forecast. Boy, I got a lot of scenes crammed in here. There we go. There's that 7-day, and you can see the ups and downs. Boy, they continue with their next one for Monday.
Sure do. All right, well, animals apparently are a lot like us, including, it seems, enjoying some TLC.
Well, one zoo near London set aside a day to give creatures big and small hoof pedicures and other personal care.
Take a look at what the exclusive spa package included.
Here at Chessington World of Adventures, we've been doing our New Year annual MOT health checks just to make sure everyone's nice and happy and healthy. So today we've been doing hoof trimming, which means we just pick up the hoof and we look through to see if there's any misgrowing hoof horn or any potential grit, stones, anything that shouldn't be digging into their hooves to make them uncomfortable. Today with the rhinos we weighed them. We also took a fecal sample just to make sure that they're nice and healthy, and then we applied Hoof Moist, which just keeps the horn nice and moisturised. It reduces any potential cracks.
Oh, they do seem to enjoy it, don't they? That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.